Assistant Director Caldwell, I'm going to circle back here with respect to the comments that were made by the ranking member of the full committee, because I share his outrage, and I think this committee and the country deserves an honest answer from the National Park Service. You are the Assistant Director. You have served for over 30 years in a variety of different capacities. Are you telling us that this photo was not taken down at Fort Pulaski? Because I've seen nothing from your department that says that the photo was not taken down. I've read the article that Mr. Tiffany just offered into the record, which purports to say that NPS, or rather administrative individuals at NPS, did not ask park staff to take it down. Doesn't say that it wasn't taken down. And there are anonymous sources, individuals, at least there's some reporting that suggests from NPS park staff that they were told to take it down and that it was taken down. So we deserve an answer.
I'm not aware of those anonymous sources or any instructions that have been provided to Fort Pulaski or anywhere else.
I'm not asking you about orders that were given. I'm asking, do you know, eventually, this is just important for, I think, for all the administration witnesses. The email communications that you all are having within the agencies, elsewhere, eventually those will become public. So if you know if this photo was taken down, whether intentionally or by mistake, then you have an obligation to tell the committee. Do you know if the photo was taken down, or are you saying that it was not?
I am unaware of the photo being taken down.
So you don't know whether it was taken down or not?
I understand that there have been no instructions for any removal of any, as the chairman said,
that's not an answer to
referencing slavery.
That is not an answer to a very simple question. It sounds like you're saying either you know that it was taken down, but you don't want to say that publicly, or you don't know that it was taken down. And if you don't know, then you can say you don't know.
I'm not involved in the implementation of this secretarial order.
I understand.
I am certainly will reference your questions to those that are, and I think your answers can come back certainly to your staff and the committee.
So it sounds like you're saying you do not know whether or not it was taken down.
I'm not involved in the implementation
Sir,
of the secretarial
this is, I mean, very evasive. And again, I am trying to understand why you wouldn't just say on the record if you don't know if the photo was taken down. I don't understand. You keep answering the question the exact same way. I'm not involved in the implementation of this order. I understand you're not involved in the implementation of the order. So it should be pretty easy to say, I don't know if the photo was taken down or not. And I'm not understanding the evasiveness. Help me understand this.
I'm unaware of the status of that photo as it pertains to any exhibits within the National Park System.
Okay, so what I would suggest, and this goes to the chairman's remarks previously. The chairman made much of the article that he entered into the record regarding the Interior Department claiming now, in response after the outrage, justifiably, regarding this photo, that the department now claims it never issued that order. So I would ask the chairman, and I'm happy to yield to him, does he agree that this photo shouldn't be taken down? You spent a great deal of time talking about Reconstruction and the Republican Party and its role during the Civil War and so on and so forth. So it should be pretty easy for all of us to say, photos like these should not be taken down. It's offensive what the Department of Interior is doing right now. I find it deeply offensive. Your answer, sir, Mr. Assistant Director, previously, in response to the ranking member's questions, that somehow public feedback will be used essentially as the barometer as to whether or not photos like these should be taken down, I think is ridiculous. Where will we land? What's the logical extension of that? Someone writes in and says, there should be no photos regarding slavery. There should be no photos like this of a former enslaved man who escaped slavery and enlisted in the Union Army. I think it's deeply offensive. And we've heard a lot from a lot of witnesses in the last 8 months from the Trump administration. But it should be pretty easy to just say, you know what, this has gone too far. Yeah, well, I didn't sign up for this kind of rewriting of history. I certainly didn't. And I don't think the people in the National Park Service did either. I yield back.